The letter to the Colossians. Entrusted to Tychicus, a dear brother, a faithful minister, and a fellow servant in the Lord. The letter to the Colossians has two objectives. First, to help the community discern God's will through a deeper knowledge of Him. And second, to encourage behaviors that align with a new life found in the Spirit. Tychicus probably traveled with Onesimus. The former delivered the letter for the community of Colossae, while the latter brought the one for Philemon. Both letters were written by Paul and Timothy while in prison in Ephesus, where the apostle was held with chains along with Epaphras, Aristarchus, Prisca, and Aquila, around 54-55 AD. After the Thanksgiving, the letter opens with a liturgical hymn that emphasizes the centrality of Christ. In Him all things were created, in Him everything subsists, and in Him everything finds fulfillment. There is no fullness of life without the experience of what Paul calls the mystery. It is Christ in you, your hope of glory. This experience, which appears on average every 2 verses in this writing, is found in the 2 dimensions of Christian life, the baptismal and the Eucharistic. Paul dedicates chapter 2 to the baptismal dimension, which revolves around a phrase considered a kind of theological balm of the New Testament. For in Him dwells the fullness of God in bodily form. I refer to baptism. You were buried with Christ in baptism, and you were also raised with Him through your faith in the power of God who raised Him from the dead. From baptism, every believer partakes in the fullness and power that shine in Christ. In the second dimension, Paul invites a Eucharistic-centered life. Around the single table, there is no distinction between Jew and Greek, between the circumcised and the uncircumcised. There are no aliens, barbarians, slaves, or freemen, but Christ is all and in all. Such a conviction radically transforms relationships within the churches, between husband and wife, father and children, and masters and slaves. This conviction strikes down the threat of evil at the root, making life in Christ not only possible, but also essential.
In the icon, Christ is crucified on the parchment, the chirograph, representing humanity's debt. We see 2 hands. At the top right is the hand of the Father, indicating the cross, and at the bottom left is the hand of the accuser, indicating the believers. The Father's hand is open in a gesture of giving. He loved the world so greatly that He gave His only Son, so that whoever believes in Him may be saved. Christ on the cross has absorbed the same greenish color as the document of condemnation, a color symbolizing death resulting from sin. Christ is the elasterion, the instrument of atonement for sins. Though He was sinless, God made Him bear our sin, so that through Him we might become the righteousness of God. Therefore the baptized who are justified in Christ stand to the right of the cross, gazing upon the Good Shepherd who laid down His life for His flock. They feel protected by their advocate, Jesus Christ, the righteous one, who is with the Father. The left hand of the accuser, the devil, points a finger at the faithful. Appealing to the chirograph, he accuses the brothers day and night before God to make them give up their faith in him. However, the accuser's hand no longer has any power over the children of God, since there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. How could God, who did not spare his own Son, but gave him up for us all, withhold from us all things along with him? Who will dare to condemn? It is Christ himself who died for us, who was raised from the dead, and is seated at the right hand of God, interceding for us.